Hi, my name's Buly Cardak. I'm an associate professor in economics at the Trobe Business School in Melbourne, Australia. I'm a researcher that's worked on a lot of applied economics topics, and I've got expertise in the economics of education. And I've been a member of a team that analysed the introduction and development of a new economics subject, a new introductory economics subject for students here at La Trobe Business School. And we've published a paper about that I want to tell you a little bit about. So what we did was we studied the impact of teaching introductory economics using the curriculum open access resources in economics, or core project materials, also known as the economy text. For commerce and PPE degree students at La Trobe, we introduced a core economics subject in 2018. But at the same time, we continued to teach a traditional introductory economics subject for the Bachelor of Business students. So in a nutshell, what we've done is we've introduced a new economics subject for one group, but not for another group, and we've taught them in parallel. So we're able to use the difference in differences methodology to compare the performance of these students in subsequent semesters for students that studied before and after the change in this introductory economics subject. What we're doing is we're comparing average marks of students in semesters after they completed their introductory economics subject. Let me show you some of the findings. So the findings are summarized in this diagram. Basically, the dark grey bars tell us the difference between commerce and PPE students and their average marks in subsequent semesters before we introduced the core economics subject. So these are for average marks for students from 2016 and 17. And then the light grey bars tell us the average marks, the difference between the average marks of commerce and business students after the introduction of the core. Okay, so you can see there's a difference before, but the difference is larger afterwards. And so the difference in difference approach compares those two, takes the difference between those two bars, and we plot the white bar as that difference in differences. And what we find is for most subject areas, students in the commerce and PPE degrees did better on average after we introduced the core economics subject. The only area where we didn't find a difference was in the marketing area. And the difference is about 0.25 to 0.3 standard deviations. Okay, and just to make it a little bit more concrete, we can look at the LBS only. So this is all subjects in the LBS, La Trobe Business School. We can see that the difference is about 0.25 standard deviations. The average mark for those subjects is about 59, with a standard deviation of about 17 for that average mark. So when we multiply it all out, we find that the mark has gone up from 59 to about 63. And that's a 7% increase in the average mark for all LBS subjects for the commerce PPE students after the introduction of this core economics subject. Okay, so that's a major sort of improvement in these students' outcomes. And that's the takeaway, I think. The project shows positive impact on subsequent student performance after the core economics subject was introduced. I guess to understand this, a key difference between the traditional and new subject is the text, the economy. Okay, and it takes, like, the text takes a different approach to presenting principles economics. It starts by highlighting issues facing society using data as evidence. And these issues that are introduced are analysed using economic concepts and models, and this leads to informed policy solutions. We adopted this approach in actually developing the core economics subject. So it wasn't only in the text, it was in our subject. And we think that's part of the reason for the difference. That's that improvement in the students' outcomes. The approach shows how economics can help us understand issues that students care about. So that's one of the motivations of the core project, that they're wanting to engage more students in the study of economics. And they take the approach that what the students care about, that's what we want to use to motivate their interest. We've since adopted a similar approach to teaching the economics the introductory economics subject to the Bachelor of Business students as well. So we liked what we found, and we sort of wanted to use that for all of our students. If you're interested in knowing more, the paper is cited here, so you can look that up quite easily. I've given you the DOI. But for now, thanks for your interest. I really appreciate that you've listened to this recording and watched, and I hope you have a good day.